so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program. Thank you so much.
Coming to tell lies that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu condemned Biafra Republic government in exile, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu does not support Mazi Simon Ekpa. Brufen in the United Kingdom, in the United States. When did Brufen travel to Nigeria to get those information? These were the same man who they stopped from seeing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the court. The same man who came to Nigeria after the IPOB must have spent a lot of money to sponsor him. He came. He could not see Mazen Nnamdi Kanu twice. And how do you think that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will pass such message? He couldn't pass it through Aloy Ejimako. Aloy Ejimako, Barrister Aloy Ejimako has always been the mouthpiece. Who brings information from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. If there were such a serious information from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, it will come from Aloy Ejimako or the lawyers in Nigeria that sees him face to face. How do you think that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will now hand over his speech to somebody in the United States to come and speak for? Based on what? Somebody that had not seen him once. And of course, after he's busted, our Prime Minister came and spoke about that. And he went now and he began to confess. He came back and began to confess that it was the in-law of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that told him to go and write that speech on Twitter. This is how evil people can be. Brufen himself began to confess that it was the in-law of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that told him to go and write that very tweet. That Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said he's not aware of Biafra Republic government in exile. He began to run away from it after telling a lie. And this is a man who has been taking money from IPOB. If I mention the money this man have collected from IPOB, you will marvel. You will marvel. 2 times he came to Nigeria, it was $50,000 each. Even in that trip, he never saw Mazen Nnamdi Kanu once. He never saw Mazen Nnamdi Kanu once. The amount he charged IPOB for the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was $400,000. $400,000. He didn't offer anything up to this day. And he nailed himself when he began to meddle into the affair of Biafra Republic government in exile. Trust our Prime Minister. He will always warn you. Sometimes when things are happening, he will just keep you and watch you until when you dig your grave. And finally, you see how Brufen have dig his own grave. When our Prime Minister issued that tweet and called him out, what did he do? He began to deny that the statement, it was the in-law of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that told him to write that statement. That it was not Mazen Nnamdi Kanu directly that told him. If he's not a fraudster, how can somebody give you an information of such without verification and you begin to announce it? When you know that our Prime Minister himself has a lawyer on the ground that sees Mazen Nnamdi Kanu on a daily basis. Mazi Simon Ekpa has a lawyer that meets Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that sees Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And even other lawyers are there that discuss Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Why is it that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will not send the information through the lawyers around? He will now pass the information through somebody in the United States. This is how evil these people are. They can go to any length to demonize Mazi Simon Ekpa. They can go to any length to destroy what we are doing, to make sure they delay our freedom. But no matter the propaganda, the blackmail they are pushing from right, left, and center, we are far, far, far ahead of them. And when you carry Yocha, nothing will happen to him or her. As long as your hands are clean. The more your enemy begin to push propaganda and lies against you, the more they are being exposed. I pity people who pick a fight against our Prime Minister. I pity them. Some of you have forgotten when he used to warn. He warned and begged everybody that his fight is not against any Biafran person. It doesn't matter the group you belong. It doesn't matter who you support. It doesn't matter the angle you're coming from. That his fight and struggle is not against any Biafran. He's only after the enemy of Biafran. Don't fight him. And if you fight him, you get burnt. But people don't listen. Go and check everybody that have risen up against Master Simon Ekpa. Go and check them. We are there today. Everybody that have opened his or her mouth to fight against Master Simon Ekpa, go and check their platform. We are there today. You cannot fight the truth and succeed. The more you fight the truth, the more you destroy yourself. The only good thing you can do for yourself is to be sincere and pursue that which is right. I have said it time and time again. It is not mandatory that every one of us must engage in this war. It is not compulsory. There are people who will be asleep. That will not make you not to be a Biafran. We cannot send anybody away. Our Supreme Master Nandekano has said it. That we should try and carry everybody along. And that is exactly what we are doing. Our Prime Minister have opened the gate wide so many times for everybody to fall in line. He opened the gate, including for the politicians. He even said it, even the politicians, the members of Ohaneze Ndigbo, come back home. After everything that transpired in the election, how they plan to kidnap our Prime Minister and issue the bounty on his head. He forgave them and said, come back home. Now that your eyes is clear, that you're not wanted, come back home. Did they remember? They didn't come back home. Some out of their shame and greed. Only few of them turned around. But many continue to wallow in that foolishness. He opened his hand wide. But I can see today, he has made the last speech that as from 29th, after 29th, it cannot be the same anymore. Our Prime Minister have said it. If you like, believe it. If you don't like, take it for a joke. You have yourself to blame. After 29th, it can never be business as usual. Every politician, every member of Ohaneze Ndigbo, every elite in the Igbo land that is supporting the one Nigeria and making sure that we'll be enslaved, they will be on their own. Whatever happened to them, they will be responsible for it. The last date that was given to them was 29th. After 29th, it can never ever be business as usual. Take it to the bank. Some of them who are not paying attention, some people who are not sensible enough, most time when our Prime Minister issues a warning, they don't take it serious. Sometimes they will be expecting him to carry a gun and go on the street and begin to shoot. He doesn't act that way. There are better ways to do things, and you see things happening. I can tell you that today, Biafra has made tremendous progress, and our Supreme Master Nandekano is very, very much aware about it. Every single thing that is happening today, Master Nandekano gets first-hand information on the situation on the ground. First-hand information. That is why when you saw that tweet of Brufeng, he didn't know who he was dealing with. A foreign lawyer in the United States writing a statement that Master Nandekano said he's not aware of Biafra Republic. Let him now go and attack the office. He's in the United States. The office is in the United States. The office is in the United States. Let him go and sue the office that is not legal. Biafra Republic Company in Exile have been registered in the United States. And you see our renovation going on. And when they see the video of the renovation, they got mad. They got angry. They couldn't control it. That thing that is in them begin to push them to their deaths. He pushed it out to the extent of going to pull the flag of Biafra from every angle. That was when they nailed themselves. I can't imagine people who claim to be educated, people who claim to be enlightened, to go and take something that doesn't belong to you. Even if you are a Biafran, which I don't believe you are. You might only be claimed to be a Biafran, but you don't belong to the Biafran government in exile. Since you do not belong in the Biafran government in exile, why do you have to go to the office and take up a flag? A criminal act, which no sensible person will act. You are not part of the organization. You are not part of it. You didn't keep the flag. You are not any way involved in it. What took you to that very place? What took you there? As an intruder, you intruded into that very place. The intruding was not enough for you. You tried to steal, and you stole. Nothing else but the flag of the place. You stole the flag of Biafra. We don't say much about that because when you condemn yourself, you face the consequence. I have said it in most of my program. that you have to be responsible for every action that you take. I say it every time on my program. Whatever action you take in this very struggle, you are going to be responsible for it. If you know you will not take responsibility, don't take that action. So when you see them, everything they are doing today, they are going to face the consequence. The heavy consequence, they're going to face it. And when it starts happening, don't say Biafrans are doing this to Biafrans themselves. These people are doing this to their brother. It is not doing this to your brother. You are not doing it to anybody. When you nail yourself, or when you decide to commit suicide, it's nobody's business. It's your business. People have right to their life. In some countries, people are given the right to take their life. When they call mercy killing, you want to take your own life. That is your own business. It's your own business. If you have ended up in condemning yourself, whatever happens to you, you will be responsible for it. Every Biafran must be focused. Don't get distracted. Do not get distracted. What is moving them is they see that it has finally become a reality. Some of them who said that over their dead body will Master Simon Ekpa bring Biafra to us. Some say that if it is Master Simon Ekpa that bring Biafra, instead they scatter it. Today, where are they? Where are they? Every blessed day they see Biafra coming closer. They see it coming closer. I can tell you that the achievement that Master Simon Ekpa have made within 2 years. Within 2 years, those of them who were with Master Nandekano for more than a decade did not achieve 1/4 of it. They did not. Some of them, every one of them has nothing in their name. They have nothing to their name. Everything that had been done for more than a decade was done alone by Master Nandekano. He did everything on his own. What they were busy is bringing means of extorting money from him. They bring people to extort money from Master Nandekano. That's what they were doing. Every time you hear about lobbying, Master Nandekano talked about, when he one of his programs, he talked about how IPOB was paying $200,000 per month for lobbying in the United States. $200,000 every month to lobby in the United States. Biafran people were paying it for nothing. It was all a scam. In that lobby, what did they achieve? What did they achieve? The same way they brought this Brufen that is stealing money from Biafran people, up to the extent of campaigning for his payment. That is what they were doing to Mazen Nandekano. Of course, Mazen Nandekano is only one person. He cannot be everywhere at the same time. He needs people to work with. But every single individual that was around him, they were all fraudulent. They were all fraudulent. They were not serious. They took the Biafran struggle as a business. None of them was serious. They present it as a business. They don't push it as a business, and they are running it as a business, as their own personal and private business. And that is what they are doing. While Mazen Nandekano was very serious, focused on pursuing the struggle, they continued to distract him. That was why, when he couldn't wait any longer, and he established the Eastern Security Network, all hell broke loose. They planned and kidnapped him. The same people he was working with. The same people he was working with, they planned and kidnapped him and they took him away. And today, they are focusing on our Prime Minister, telling all manner of lies. Those things that we are stealing money from Mazen Nandekano to do, this is what Master Simon Ekpa today is doing on his own. If I can mention to you the diplomatic meetings that Master Simon Ekpa have held, if I can mention to you, if your eyes can be opened and you see the diplomatic meetings that Master Simon Ekpa have made, you will have every reason to be praying for him. These are what Mazen Nandekano was paying money for. These are what Mazen Nandekano was telling people to engage in. Nobody was confident or have the courage or has the effrontery to make that move. They didn't make the move. This very Biafra Republic government in exile, Mazen Nandekano established it, but there was nobody to run it. The people that were placed there, they were busy. They were even the people that were demoralizing Mazen Nandekano. The people that were running the Biafra government, they were the same people who were even holding Mazen Nandekano. The same thing they did to Master Simon Ekpa. When Master Simon Ekpa told them to activate it and start working, they began to tell him to calm down, finish election, let's do election. How can you be talking an election and you're talking about independence? How can you be talking about independence and you're talking about election? And when Mazi Simon Ekpa saw that we are not reasonable, he left them and went ahead. And today, you can see the cabinet of that very Biafra government in exile, filled up with professors, doctors, engineers across the world. You see their pictures, you see their names, you can verify their information, you can verify where they work and where they operate. It is not like before when you see everybody's hiding. In the past time, the only man we know is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's the only person you see his picture everywhere. Every other person is invisible. The one that called himself a more powerless, who is typing, claiming to be whatever, IPOB spokesperson. When Mazi Simon Ekpa exposed him, were you not surprised? Were you not surprised that that was an idiot over there in Ghana? Somebody in Ghana who even doesn't have a job. When he was exposed. But all these people were hiding under keyboard. Some of them, they couldn't be able to present their face. But today, you can see what Mazi Simon Ekpa have done. The Biafra Republic government in exile, the cabinet is superb. Confirmed and reliable people you can be able to contact and know about. And you heard about the interim government of Biafra that is going to be established in Nigeria, in Nigeria very soon, in Biafra land. You have heard about that one. It will be established. And before you know it, they will activate it to begin to function. So many, these are things that we are supposed to be done before now. These are things that were supposed to be done before now. But before the appearance of Mazi Simon Ekpa, people who were supposed to do these things could not do any single thing. Okay, look at today. Even as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, can you mention one thing that anybody have done, either to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or to pursue the struggle that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested for? What have they done? Nothing to their name. Nothing to their name. There's nothing you can talk about. You say this is what they have done. Except for the few protests they did by force. Even when the protest was supposed to have effect, they stopped the protest. Initially, when the protest was supposed to make effect, they stopped it, only to come and restart it later. What is that to their name? The one they did, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said there should be no protest in Biafra land, but they went and murdered our people. They sent our people out. They sent Biafran people out in Biafra land to go and protest. And in the end of that protest, you see how many people lost. More than